Welcome to Culturally Canceled. I'm Russell Peters, your host. Hence the name Culturally Canceled with Russell. Cancelly Cultured, whatever the fuck I called it. You know, the podcast that I started. Anyway, this is it. Today with me are two of my homeboys and one of them, well, three of my homeboys, and one of them's actually a legendary guy. One's a legendary gangster, and the other one is my friend Ooh. Just kidding.
That's all right.
So on my left, we got my boy Ooh sitting in with us from Nupius. Tell me what Nupius stands for again.
N-E-U, that's new. P, that's power. E, that's for. And then us, new power for us.
Wait, E is for?
Yeah, E is for.
Like the fourth letter?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's wrong with
So is Eddie's name 40?
it? Could be.
Oh, I didn't know E was the 4. I see how you got me on that one.
Yeah, dig that.
You see, it did too much.
No.
It did too much.
Look here, see,
Listen,
you strictly boom bap, so that, you know what I mean? That should really fit where you at with it. You know what I'm saying? On the real.
I like the X-Clan. And they had all the weird stuff going on. But anyway, and right directly across from me is Frantz Casseus.
What's up?
Comedian extraordinaire, one of my buddies.
On?
He's on the road with me lately quite a bit.
Yes.
He took some time off from the game, came back, and he's been knocking it out the park every show.
I'm back.
Welcome to the show, Frantz.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And then obviously we have the legendary Rocksteady Crew, face of the Rocksteady Crew, whether people know it or not, whether he wants to admit it or not. When people think of the Rocksteady Crew, they think of Crazy Legs, and right beside me is
indeed
Ricardo Crazy Legs Colon.
BX.
I'm glad you didn't say colon and leave the accent out.
Well, you know, that'd be weird.
Yeah, it's
Because then I call you Crazy Colon, and that's when you get older and
Crazy
you're
ass.
incontinent.
Did that. You had a whole little thing for it.
I just made it up.
Oh, all right.
So, is your first time meeting Legs now, Frantz?
Yeah. It's my first time.
Because you're a New York guy too, right?
Yeah, we never met. But I definitely, he was a New York City star. He's a world star.
you're too kind.
Yeah.
Because now you obviously met Legs at my house before, right? Ooh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who's a West Coast legend too? He's very West Coast, like teaches me how to stand and how to throw up gang signs. So it's really nice.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, because I'd be throwing up the wrong ones. Like, you're going to get killed throwing that shit up. And I'm like,
It's a strong possibility.
Yeah, so he guides me in the right direction with my wrong direction.
I needed to learn how to wear my hat the right way in Chicago one time.
Really?
My first tour, we went there. This dude comes up.
What year are we talking?
This is 81. And actually, that was the first year I went to Toronto. The last stop was Toronto.
In 81?
In 81, the
Wow.
kitchen tour.
Wow.
Eric Bogosian was on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was he doing on it?
His stand-up.
Oh, right. He used to be a stand-up and he was a radio host, right?
Mm-hmm. And this guy comes up to me like, yo, what set you from? Fuck you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. You wearing your hat to the side. I'm like, yeah, I'm a B-boy. He didn't know what I was talking about because breaking didn't make it out there yet. And he was just like, yo, you know, people are gonna run up on you if they see you just like this, wearing my hat a little bit to the side.
Right.
It was a gang affiliation thing for them.
Yeah, I try wearing my hat sideways and it never works. I swear it never works for me.
Now you don't got the slant.
Nah, I can't do it. I try it. Even with these hats, I'll be like, it'll look good, but then I'll be uncomfortable as fuck because I'm a Libra, I guess, because I need to be balanced. I'll put that shit centered again. Come on. I was just picturing my dad going, put the hat on straight, you idiot. That's how I picture it. So.
Yeah.
Nah, it's that I think, I mean, it's not just about gangs. It's just about whatever, you know, cats are on at that particular time. You know what I mean?
Chicago's still like that, though.
I think everywhere is, though.
I think.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Everywhere it is. LA inspired the nation
they
again.
try
I'm
to
just talking about the hat situation.
Nah, they down there gang banging right now in New York.
Yeah.
Now they are, but I mean, that's only like 25 years old, right?
Quite like through even much smaller cities.
Yeah.
Much smaller cities. It ain't quite like the real regular killing per capita per mile. I don't know. Chicago itself might beat out New
Chicago.
York.
Well, each city does their own thing.
And it's about
you know what I mean?
but it's in New York.
We gotta be cool because we're stacked up. So you can't have beef with everybody. You know, over here you got beef with somebody from another neighborhood. You need gas money, or you know, just to continue to be.
Drive-bys are too expensive to do right now. There's been a decrease in those.
Use a bike.
Chicago right now. And I think that's being purposely done, believe it or not. But
that part is a whole nother angle.
But
of
the
it.
gas,
The
gas
not
prices
just the
being so
gas,
high
the drugs,
to everything.
to kill drive-bys.
And,
I like it, Cup. Shout out to the low lives.
You see what happened with Nipsey? You see what happened with Nipsey? They've been
some blood kids did
some blood kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole nother.
That's going to be a problem
protocol.
for that whole section.
Well, they went over. They went over like a mural or something.
They went over a mural.
Yeah, they went over his mural.
X the mural out. I mean,
put some kid's name on it. And
come on now.
There gotta be
that's not.
There used to be a code.
There's something behind that, man. There's something behind that.
it's not real street shit anymore. It's not at all. It's just,
yeah.
You know, the problem is these and I'm not making this a joke, but I really feel like this whole younger generation that's just shooting willy-nilly everybody came up playing Grand Theft Auto, where you just shot people willy-nilly and it meant nothing. It was almost funny.
You know what? To tap in on what you popping though, that's real though. And games like that also. It wasn't just that game, but that one did shoot it through the roof.
Yeah, because that one made it more urban.
Yeah,
They set it in urban settings. The other ones
were all of that.
Yeah, the other ones were set in war settings. You know what I mean? Where it was like, okay, you're at war. This is what you're gonna do. But now it's just like, oh, I'm just driving down the street. Let's go kill somebody and then and then go get a burger. You know what I mean? Like the fun part was trying to get away with it.
Well, see the consequences. The consequences is a different situation.
How many bodies at each side get body? You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Just.
That's some serious conditioning.
Like
I really believe what he was saying right now.
Like
His
dogs
eyes
and
is
cats.
open like that. I really
You know what
believe
I'm saying?
even
Cats and dogs see
dogs.
each other, instant enemy. It's crazy.
Yeah, you know, you couldn't do that. I mean, in New York, it's harder to do that because when you make the block hot, it's different. You can't.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The OGs will come down and the fuck you doing?
Yeah,
I'm trying to live my life right now, and you're making the block hot.
Yeah, but see, you have
but they'll kill the OGs too.
Yeah,
but
now there's no code.
There's no code. There's no code.
You got the youngins, they're doing their thing. The G's, they're doing their thing. Like everybody is doing their own thing. So it's separated like that. There is no more of a straight line. Well, I don't want to say unity because it's all still the same hood, but they not kicking it together. Let's just say it like that. So the communication is different.
Yeah, whereas when you were younger, you would respect the OGs.
They're not in tune with each other.
And now the OGs are beefing with the young Gs. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Who are you going to learn game from? You got to learn from these guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if somebody feels that they know, you know what I mean, then it's kind of hard to communicate with somebody about that.
Your plan and the way you did it different from them. And it's like, yo, you do it your way. I don't need your advice, blah, blah. I'm doing it this way. I'm getting paid this way. You feel me?
Well, you got to think about it.
I'm getting paid this way. Good. Thanks, but no thanks. I don't need your rules.
But I'm saying you go from,
I don't need your
we talking
That's
about
where the young boys are now.
We talking about selling dope. They talking about cryptocurrency. So you got to look at the communication.
They went from crypto.
You know what I mean?
They went from crypto to crypto.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So you know, it's a whole nother lane.
They went from bloods to blood money.
No. That's funny. That's funny.
They went from Pyru to Poke.
No, but that's what it is.
That's
though.
funny though.
So it's like this though. You can't. I'm not saying that all they do is bad or all they do is good, and that's on either level. I'm just saying that the stuff that we had to do, they didn't have to do. So whatever we did to get money, you know what I mean? That they don't have to do that. You see what I'm saying? Think about it.
Yeah,
weed is legal.
Everything changes.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything changes. It's totally changed from when the younger, the old OGs was young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different system now.
Indeed.
And they ain't trying to hear no OG system from them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, to them it's like, motherfucker, shut up. You was in jail, internet
That's what I'm
saying.
like, yo, I'm doubling, tripling what you used to make, OG. It's a different time.
But you know what?
You know what I'm saying? Different time. You made millions, I'm making billions.
And a lot of cats don't have fathers growing up, so they don't really respect other men.
I can dig that too.
I didn't have a father.
And look at how you are when you talk to men.
Nah, I'm just saying, so it's like, look at it like music-wise, right? How a young cat quick to, you know what I'm saying, be called, a legend like him, like, oh, that's that old shit. You know what I mean? Not really knowing what it is or respecting it. It's the same thing with the streets. It's like they know who he is and all of that right there. It's just they feel how they feel. They feel they can do it better.
But also, I don't have a sense of entitlement. They don't dish your
plan. They just feel like, okay, that worked for you. That's cool. You lived your life. I'm young now. I'm young and hungry. Yeah, but, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it my way. My plan is already working. So whatever you're trying to tell me, I'm good.
But I think a lot of old school heads have, especially in hip hop, have this sense of entitlement where they think everyone's gonna bow down to them. And me, I don't give a shit about none of that stuff. Like, let the young people live. I don't care. They want to rock their music. I'm not judging them. That's the soundtrack to their lives right now.
Our parents did that to us. You know what I'm saying? Our parents would say, "Oh our music
mine
is
didn't,
dumb."
But I was lucky. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was that kid who
they thought their music from the '60s was better than the '70s, and their whole culture and everything was better.
I mean, that's just generational. We think our music's better than this kid's music, and they think our music is trash. And
and it goes on and on and on. It gets worse and worse and worse to every generation. You know what I'm saying?
But above and beyond the musical degeneration, we're watching civilization degenerate too. Cheat codes are gone. Street codes are gone.
Exactly.
Snitching is okay.
Yes.
Murder
is okay.
Murder's always been there, but the snitching part.
No, but murder for just murdering. Like he got on blue. He got
a lot
on
of
red
stuff
or
is just being reported.
I mean, it's just
cats been killing cats. I mean, that's never stopped. Whether it's East Coast, West Coast, or whatever. What I'm saying is that motives, actions, thought process, all that's different now.
Well, the cops are getting caught now.
So, yeah.
And becoming a troll is actually a viable lifestyle.
Yeah, word.
Literally, I mean, you look at the Jake Paul and the Logan Pauls and the Tekashi 6ix9ines and all them guys, their whole basis is being a fucking troll.
I have a whole other opinion about Tekashi 6ix9ine because just knowing the story of how they, and I don't know if it's wrong or if I got bad data, but dude was like a cashier or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then they basically brought him into their world, turned him into something that he wasn't trying to be. He ends up snitching on them. But to me, it's like, you try to turn the cashier into something that you were and didn't even qualify him. Didn't know. You had to know that he was gonna snitch once he got hemmed up. He's not of that background.
But the worst part is he snitched and came out and got a fucking deal. That's the part. It's like he's being rewarded.
Well, see, for me,
but whoever put him on, they have to be held accountable for
and he's talking
not
shit about
qualifying this dude.
He's talking shit about it too. Like, I did it. I snitched. So what?
That's a troll.
Yeah.
He's a snitch and a troll.
But see, it's like this. It's no consequences. See, once upon a time, there was consequences for different actions.
Right.
There are no consequences no more. So
but he don't walk around without security.
We
know he ain't finna walk around without security because he knows somebody
gonna touch his ass.
But it's not like he even doing any of the stuff that everybody's talking about. He was like when he came out here, he slid in and slid out. Nobody knew he was here.
But at the same time, I kind of get him because people are coming at him, and I would say myself to ignore them. But as a 23-year-old man who's making so much money.
He's not a man, he's a boy.
Yeah.
I agree.
But see,
how old is Tekashi, Eddie?
You talking about bread versus bullets, though.
If some people keep coming at you and
conversation.
People keep coming at you and trying to so when you get money, they fuck you,
25.
People you don't know, like total strangers, other people in the business who have made it themselves, they're rappers or whatever. I mean, okay, he snitched, that's a bad thing. Of course, it's a bad thing, but, as a man, period, even before that, before he snitched, if niggas is trying to boss you around, tell you what to do with your money, I made this. This is me. I'm 6'9". Who the fuck are you to, You know, people try.
But the problem is he puts himself in that position.
I can't even qualify that.
He puts himself in that position to do that.
Well, he did put. You're right, and you're absolutely right.
The way he be talking to people,
gangs.
No, but talking all loud,
thinking, throwing up gang signs.
Yeah,
whatever.
but they recruited him and turned him into that. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, didn't somebody say, yo, don't fuck with Shorty because it's kind of suspect. Like we can't really,
no, they all
expect him to ride like that. I just like he was a cashier, like he was working in the market, in the supermarket, and somebody created this image for him or told him to be something, and then
really?
he tried
I didn't
to
know that.
Yeah, he tried to live up to, and
6'9",
from what I'm gathering,
Wow.
he tried to live up to that persona. It backfired on the people who
But
brought
he
him
is
into
from
their
the hood
world.
too, right? He's
from Brooklyn.
He's from Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah,
that
but
don't mean he's from the hood.
Listen,
Listen, I think he's from Bushwick.
I think a big misnomer
that's
is
just being Puerto Rican. Being from Bushwick.
he's not. He's not even Puerto Rican. He's Mexican.
He's Mexican and Puerto Rican.
He
He's
snuck
Puerto
in.
Rican.
Listen,
He's half Puerto Rican.
Listen,
half
people
Mexican.
really have this misunderstanding about the hood that it's full of thugs and gangsters. There's, I would say, more nerds in the hood than there are gangsters in the hood.
Indeed.
Yes, yeah,
There's a lot of regular, normal nerds trying to do their schoolwork.
The hood ain't all bad.
At the show.
That is the
Remember
hugest
the dude
misconception.
running around.
Oh
wanting to
yeah, there was
fight?
some guy trying to act hood at our hotel. Outside we was having cigars, and he tried to start fights. And I'm sitting there with my laptop open. He's like, "Hey, no, don't let him." I go, "Let him fight. They're not gonna fight." I literally have my laptop open. This guy's barking right by me. I go, so he walked past me and he knocked over a bottle of water. So I tried to kick the bottle out the way, and he goes, "You trying to fucking trip me?" And I look at him and I go, "Really? This is what you want?" I go, "Is this really how you want?" Like I'm like, "Really? That's what you
And
think?"
that was that day you tried wearing your hat to the side, right?
Yeah, I wasn't even fucking phased. I was like, "I know you ain't gonna do shit."
Was it sober Russell or drunk
Yeah, I was
Russell?
sober. I was sober.
This shit was funny, man. This dude, out of shape, tall, young motherfucker. He was big, he was young, but he was
He
drunk.
was like
as shit.
6'4", but he's all you could see his pudge.
Yeah, he's pudged,
And
drunk
all
as
fucking
shit.
talk, bark,
He's
bark,
like
bark.
slurring
I'm like,
when he's
shut
talking.
Yeah, that's an easy drop right there.
Yeah. So,
Nah, but that's how people feel though.
This Italian dude that was with us, who was that Hop, right? Yeah, that was Hop. This Italian dude was bigger than him, almost his size, about the same size. He was a little bit taller, but they were both big dudes. So, homeboy, got him with this Italian, like, yo, come on, I'm not. Yo, Russ is just sitting there with his legs like, yo, let it go. They ain't gonna do shit. Let him go.
There was too much talking.
Yeah, it was too much talking.
There was too much talking.
He ain't gonna do shit. So they go around circling each other, and they're like, "Yo, so what you want to do? What the fuck you want to do? Fuck you want? Yo, fuck you want to do?
You know what it sounds like?
Do a sweet thing."
If you take, listen, if you take the conversation they had when they were fighting,
Right.
and make it a male and a female, and soften the tone, it sounds like a couple arguing about what you want to do for dinner.
Yo, this dude out of nowhere.
What you want to
He
do?
comes out of nowhere.
What you
We're
wanna do?
sitting just like this.
Yeah, he's stupid.
Am I not right?
Literally, it's the exact same conversation. Yo, what you want to do? What
You
fucking mean
stupid.
what I want to do? Motherfucker, why are we talking about it? If you want to
Yeah.
fight, we would have been fighting.
Hilarious, dog. Russ was just sitting there like, yeah,
I have my laptop on my lap.
Do that. Just let him. And I'm over here making
But that's how
peacemaker.
everybody
right?
feeling, man.
I'm being
Everybody on some testy stuff.
Nah, it's fake.
This is why we have ghetto PTSD, because all these stories, all this bullshit that we live.
Man, it's a mission to come out the house. You dig? To make it to the liquor store, to make it to work, to make it back home.
Yeah, I was traumatized when my
mission.
mother first sent me out to go buy Kotex for her. And it was raining,
How
and
old
the
were you?
bag
How old
broke.
were you?
And it
I was
absorbed
like
all the
9
rain?
years old.
9 years
Yeah,
old.
see, mine
you
is
didn't even know
almost
what
as
it was
bad
for.
as
Like,
his. My head
no, I
cheese
knew.
sent me with the
9 years old in the
food
hood.
stamp
You're like
Hold on.
17.
Yeah,
You know?
you're right. You get to see that shit all around the house. Shit.
Nah, I had to go with the food stamp pack though. You know the paper ones?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, see, back then you could buy Kotex and all that old type of shit. So
Yeah.
my head cheese would send me to the store to get her stuff. I got to pull out. Not only do I got the big ass thing of Kotex and all that type of shit.
What, the
I gotta
purple or
bring
the
out-
blue box?
It was the blue. No, the purple. You right?
Those are the ones that were like, those are the ones that were like
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
mattresses.
Bro, those are like
right.
those are like the
Homie.
long pillows in hotels.
That was
Yeah.
the worst shit that ever happened in my life.
Yeah.
You got to bring the book out, and then the lady trying to act like she can't find it and shit. You know it's at the back, man. Take that
And
little.
now it's like super heavy overnight with wings and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, and when the box broke on our legs, it soaked up all the puddles in New York.
Hey, man, look here. All I know is traumatized is traumatized.
Yeah, man.
Don't send your kids to the store to get nothing for y'all with the EBT cards and all that other jazz.
Remember, you could buy cigarettes for your parents if they wrote a note?
Yep. I remember
And you
those
could get them
days.
liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
Shit, we didn't even have
your parents would
write
write you a
back
note.
then.
I give my son permission to buy the blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
And you'd give it to him, the guy would give it to you, and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, let me authenticate this first.
Yeah, there was...
They used to always be
write
one
the
store
note.
in the hood that would let you get credit and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? You get some milk, some cheese, some eggs, stuff like that.
Our credit was all messed up.
I ain't say mine was
That's
good.
funny.
I just said
You could
that's
be
what they
on
would let
welfare
you
and
do.
get credit.
Well, you get hood credit. It wasn't like you got real credit.
Corner store credit.
You weren't getting a car.
And
You
the
were
corner
getting an
store
egg.
is right next door to the number spot.
Right.
Why y'all trying to
My
act
mother
like y'all missed
needed
that?
credit at the grocery
That's what it
store, but
was.
was always at the number spot.
Yeah.
Nah, look here. Number spots is what kept America going. Don't nobody want to admit that. You dig what I'm saying? It
I
kept
don't know
the
too
hoods
many
running.
people that hit like that.
I ain't say nobody hit. I said number spots was what kept, because them gambling shacks kept money going, kept money flowing.
Yeah.
You had to believe in something.
Yeah, well, I stole my first pair of good sneakers.
I was the lookout for the guys to steal sneakers. There was a store in our mall called Shoe World. And this is like 85, 86, and they had all the shoes out. They never had like a stock room, really. They had a stock room with extra shit in it, but for the most part, everything was out in pairs. So they would send me in because I looked like a nerdy little Indian kid. I would ask for something we knew wasn't out.
You were never a nerd, bro.
I was. Always. And I walk in, I go, hey, do you have blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah? I didn't find it out there. Oh, okay, let me go in the back and check. And as soon as she go to the back, wham, they clear the shelves.
Yeah.
And then she come back out and I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. You don't have it? Okay, thank you.
Oh, we would just change the size. Like, yeah, let me get a 7.5 instead.
Yeah, that's what you do. You go in and you have your boy.
Oh, we didn't need to do all that. I would just send the jig of the bag and then these guys would clear the shelves.
That is slick.
This is in Toronto, right? They really trusted you guys over there.
ain't lying.
Here's the thing. Here's the worst part about it. I would help them do this and then they would sell me the shoes they stole. I'm like, wait, I fucking helped you steal this shit. I'll give it to you. Give me $5. I'll give you a pair. I'm like, I don't have $5.
Ain't nothing like going to go do something and you get into it. You did what I'm saying? Me like that right there. You know, you got to know what it is ahead of time before you go get into it. For real. But nah, what you do though, Russ, that's what you do. You send them in the store.
Wait, why are we still doing this? We're all men in our 50s and you want to fucking figure out how to get some sneakers?
Yo, we're going to go to Foot Locker after this and get some kicks.
Hey, listen, this is why they don't listen to the
If you gotta do
OGs.
something like that, you might as well.
There you
might
go.
as well go to the rail yard. The rail yard is where the real shit is.
God
It's like,
damn.
hey, you did this shit before.
What's the rail yard?
Where all the shit comes in.
Oh, you
yeah.
talking about hitting the containers.
Oh,
And
we
the
used to,
containers,
when I was a
yeah.
kid and we were straight starving Marvin status, and you go to a jam, underground social club in a basement of a building, and we would literally, at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock, we go to the bakery, catch them loading up the bread. When they go inside, because we were starving, we just run inside the truck, grab all the bread, and that was our munchies after a jam. But that's like 78, 77.
Y'all was b-boying already, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. B-boy.
How deep was the crew in 78, 77?
I was
You started when?
I didn't join a crew. I started in 77, but I didn't join a crew until like a year later, which was called the Bronx Boys. And then I got into Rocksteady in 79.
Who started Rocksteady?
2 brothers by the name of Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee.
And they let you in?
Yeah, I had to earn my way in. I mean, they treated me like a scrub at first, but that was normal. I mean, back then, to be this back then was also followed by maybe like them helping you out. But
Well, yeah,
they let you
back
know your
then-
shit was trash
Because
first.
you had to be earned. It had to be earned.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't just given to you back then. Everything was earned.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have a sense of entitlement because we
look
earned
up,
everything.
Look up Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee. You'll probably find a picture
Is
of
that,
them.
what year is that picture?
That year, that
that
picture,
Baby Love on the
that's
floor?
83. Yeah, that's Baby Love.
83.
83.
I tell every time I tell you, I say I used to have a crush on Baby Love.
When did you guys let girls in?
We always had girls in Rocksteady. Bullshit. Wait a second. I was the one who brought girls into Rocksteady. Yeah. So we started putting girls in Rocksteady.
Those
in
them?
80. Yep, that's Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee. Those two were pretty notorious in the Bronx. I don't really want to.
Still alive?
I don't really want to get into the details of it.
But wait, were they good?
Oh, they were top tier.
Really?
Top tier B-boys, yeah, definitely.
Wait, but then how many people was
So
in the
that,
crew?
all right, so go back to that dude on the left. His name is Batch. He's an original B-boy from back in the days. So he was the leader of the Bronx Boys.
Batch?
Yeah.
That sounds like a graffiti name.
Yeah, he was a graffiti writer also. So Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee went bombing with Batch and all these other people, and Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee didn't want to be graffiti writers. They wanted to start breaking, break more. So one day after going writing, they formed Rocksteady Crew, got the blessing of Batch, and they were always...
Wait, hold on a second. Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee got the blessing for Rocksteady Crew from Batch?
No, from Batch. Yeah, because
Batch.
they were part of the Bronx Boys.
Oh, okay, but
So
who came up with the name Rocksteady Crew?
Huh?
Who came up with the name Rocksteady Crew?
Well, breaking was more called rocking also back then.
Right.
So because Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee were always battling, they used to tell them, yo, you guys stay battling, stay steady battling. Mm-hmm. And they just formed Rocksteady Crew because of the name of the dance, and they're always battling.
They steady rocking.
Yeah, rock. Yeah.
Even that, see that picture's what, like 76, 77?
That had to be, with those shirts, it had to be like, around 77, 78.
Damn.
I mean, look at the Lees, the bell-bottom Lees all rolled up like that.
I ain't been
That was the year of blackout.
Yeah,
it was the year of blackout.
Yeah,
I was in Manhattan.
I was actually in Brooklyn when the blackout happened.
I was in Manhattan when my grandmother's on 94th in Columbus.
Okay.
That whole outfit with badass. I'm like,
That's
I
what
rock
I'm
that
saying.
shit right now.
Yeah, Jimmy D on one. I'm with him.
Oh yeah, they had the house medallions.
That's dope.
Adidas and Pumas.
And those dudes were definitely notorious in the Bronx.
So they got down.
They were
outside of b-boying.
Yes, they did.
They got busy.
They got very busy.
Did they get hemmed up at all?
One did. Jimmy Lee got hemmed up.
But they're both alive still?
Yeah. Jimmy D became a career military person. Did, I think, at least 25 years in the Navy, like really high ranking.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
He did the Antoine Fisher.
Basically.
Yeah.
He
did the Antoine Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
and what about Jimmy Lee? Is he Puerto Rican, Jimmy Lee?
Yeah. They're both, Jimmy D is black and Puerto Rican, and Jimmy Lee's Puerto Rican, and Jimmy Lee is on extended vacation since 83.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Is he coming out?
He went in under the Rockefeller laws, so that's a problem. But they've recently changed those things, so who knows?
He has a chance.
Hopefully, nothing.
Vacated sentence.
Well, hopefully not. Well, yeah, it depends, but if you catch other charges while you're in there, I don't know how that works.
When you're in there, you're definitely going to catch other charges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's just the way it's set up.
Yeah.
Yep.
It ain't nursery school, that's for damn sure.
Sure ain't.
Not at all.
You're not in there for a slap on the wrist.
Yes.
You're not in there to get better. You're in there
I know
to be
about it.
reminded.
Yeah. But it was bugged out back then because most of a lot of dudes that I met when I first started breaking were all stick-up kids.
Is that Eclipse standing in the back there?
Yes. My introduction to Rocksteady Crew, I was brought to go rob someone.
Okay, so you were part of the Rob Steady Crew.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but we weren't successful that night, so
What kind of robbery was it?
Oh, that was just like a snatch a purse kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, there's no one out at night anyway in the Bronx.
But
I elevated my skills in those things as well.
Is that Rozelle standing up? No.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Rozelle
so
was
it's
Rocksteady.
Rozelle?
JS1.
Where's JS1?
Right next to
Leaning
Rozelle.
on your back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the tall white boy behind him?
Yes.
So, on the other side of Eclipse there.
Yes. Yeah, we put the white people in the back.
Dig that.
And that guy with the brown shirt looked like the kid from NYPD on New York Undercover.
Which one? Oh,
Michael
Kel?
He looked like Michael DiLorenzo, doesn't
That's
he?
Kel first.
Man.
Graffiti writer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who's that down on the bottom right?
Fable.
Oh, right. Shit. Mm-hmm. Pop Master Fable.
And then you got Little Lep in the middle.
The little guy?
Yeah, and then Bones Malone with the hat.
Ah, Bones. Is he? I like Bones Malone. He's
Bones
a good
is
writer.
an amazing writer. His
Just couldn't let it
his
pass,
skill
huh?
level is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposed with a Z.
Wait
Eddie.
a minute, hold on. Let's
Who was
get
in
back to this.
before?
You hit this
Mr.
lick to get
Freezy?
in.
Huh?
I was
Supposed
about
with
to
a Z.
say
Eddie.
Freeze.
What about him?
He was in Rocksteady too.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze, Frosty Freeze, but Frosty Freeze died.
So you ain't have to break
yeah,
or
he
nothing.
looked kind of wild there. Huh?
You ain't have to break or nothing. You didn't have to like
Well,
battle
Bones Malone was
nobody.
a
and then-
graffiti writer.
No, I'm talking about you to
Oh,
get
really?
Yeah,
in. Your
so me and my
initiation.
cousin Lenny Len battled Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee to get into Rocksteady. We lost, but we did really well in the battles. So it wasn't about winning the battles. Like, yo, how are you developing and how are you handling yourself right now in this situation?
What? So 77. What moves were you doing
Killing
at
him
that
with
point?
that suit.
There were very few moves, especially
Yeah, 'cause
for
it was
me. I was a
basically-
scrub. So the thing was, you basically learn the move and you try to be ambidextrous with every move that you learn.
Yeah, go to the
to
right,
make
go to the
it
left.
appear like you have more.
I used to do that shit. I would do this one. That was an awful move. I was trying to copy you, and I was trying to what we were calling a shuffle back then on the ground.
Footwork.
Footwork. See, us footwork was top rocking. So,
All right.
so what we were calling shuffling, I was trying to do yours, and yours was always so fucking ill.
So here's the thing. I go to Japan one day, and these cats, and this is like in the 90s, early 90s, and we get there, this guy's like, hey, in Japan, we do footwork like you. And I was like me? Like, what do you mean? Like, the 6-step? I just do it. I don't do anything. Oh, no. Like this, when we do our footwork, it's
You're
feet are
pigeon-toed?
pointed. I'm like, yo, I was born that way. Like, so they literally developed their style to look like the way my feet
They
are.
thought you were
naturally.
pigeon-toed?
Huh?
Were you pigeon? You're not pigeon-toed.
Bro, I was born crazy legs. I literally had the Forrest Gump bars on my legs.
Hilarious.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow. You really had crazy
I ain't
legs.
gonna front, homie. I ain't gonna front. Same here.
That's dope.
Yeah, yeah.
ain't gonna
Well,
front.
Was your mom from
Nice.
Puerto Rico or was she New Yorican?
my mom was born in Spanish Harlem,
Oh, okay.
Pops?
Puerto Rico.
Okay. Then he moved back?
Boricua.
Then he moved to the Bronx, and
Then you
part
never
of
saw
that
him again.
migration that was sold a dream by the United States, and then got here, became like hard laborers.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, the Bronx, especially in the 60s and the
that's the old
70s.
bait and switch for everybody. And
Oh,
fucking
yeah. Yeah.
Happened to every non-white ethnic group in the world. Happened to Indian people in Africa, in the West Indies, same shit. Hey, come here, we'll give you this, and you can make this and this, and then you can go back to India.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a one-way ticket. You're not going back.
My father came up here, up in the States, and
Trick.
ended up making plastic bags in the Bronx.
Wow.
That's it.
And you ended up
Okay.
wearing nylon pants. So it's not a trip.
Dad's still alive? He's still
Nah, he
alive?
passed away.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, mine too.
Oh, way to bring this fucking show down, guys. Jesus.
Yeah, man.
All right. You know,
Let's talk about murder again.
you know what I'm saying? He was pumped though. That part. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wow. Let's get Angelo back here.
Wow. It happened.
Yeah, he said, oh, shit.
Yeah, Angela's funny, man.
So for people that don't know this about me, and I might have said it before, but people always go, Russell, you're so involved with hip hop. You love the hip hop culture. I go, yes, I do. And they're like, what is it? What is it about the hip hop culture? And people think hip hop is just a music. And that's the part that bothers me because I'm from the generation where we knew about the elements of hip hop. And it was obviously, DJing, MCing, graffiti, and b-boying. And people go, what got you into it? And this man right here is literally the sole reason that I'm so into hip hop today,
Yeah.
because it came to me at a time where I had no identity. I didn't know who the fuck I was. I didn't know what I was. I had nothing to define me. And it was watching him in Flashdance and Wild Style
Yeah.
and Beat Street. And I was like, to me, it was like the coolest motherfucker on the planet when I was a kid. Even with that wild afro you had, I was just like, yo, everything he does
There
looks
was no
so dope.
such thing as a shape up back then.
No, there was none. And if you remember, who was it? Was it Frosty who had a really clean, perfect afro?
Yeah, Frosty. Yeah, Frosty had more money than me. He lived on 93rd and Columbus. I lived in the
shit.
Bronx.
That's 3 blocks away from my grandma.
Yeah.
Right there.
I
Right
bet
near
you. I
Joan of
bet your
Arc High
grandma's
School.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc High School. Wait, I missed that. He said, grandma. He said, yeah, your grandma.
I bet your grandma's dead.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
So wait a second, were you scuffing up your mom's floors?
No, we didn't have. I didn't have a house big enough to scuff up. It was a hallway. Hey, I gotta fucking fuck up that hallway.
So that picture's when we were doing Star Wars.
Shit, I forgot about Star Wars. That came out like a year after Wild Style.
I don't know. I know.
Wild Style was 82.
No,
Star Wars was shot in 82.
It was shot
because
in different periods because there was an issue.
Oh, okay. Star Wars was more about graffiti, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it just so happened that Henry Chalfant ended up using us in it because we had already established a relationship with him.
What was the issue with the two periods?
I don't know. There was, I think, they ran out of money.
Wild Style did.
Yeah.
That could be a problem.
Just saying.
It caused a little delay.
Yeah.
Shit, I know all
Wild
about
Style
that.
was a classic.
So, man, the theater, we went, the Circle Theater in the Bronx.
I wish I could have seen it in the fucking
theater.
theater.
The cloud of smoke in there.
Don't you wish you could have seen the movie in the theater then, too?
Yeah. I must say, yeah.
Yo, so much weed and liquor in that movie theater.
How'd you feel doing that one, though?
I don't know, man. We were just
didn't know.
young.
That's what I'm
honestly,
saying.
we didn't know shit,
The first time I saw it, I thought it was a fucking documentary.
Word?
Yeah, because there was I was like, everybody looks like a real person. Like nobody looked Hollywoodish. And Lee Quinones had that fucked up scar across his nose. And I was like, yo, this. And then I realized Lee must have been a real graffiti artist because his acting was horrible.
Yeah, if you can remove
You still
the
see Lee?
acting, yeah.
Where's he at?
He's still doing his art. He's
I've
amazing.
never met him.
He's amazing. He's a great brother to know.
I never met Lee
He's
Quinones.
super
He looks
humble.
the same.
Super humble. Oh, he still looks bad.
Shit.
Yeah, but he actually looks better bad now, though.
He's a better look of bad. Now, that's my bro, man. He's one of the most beautiful people you can meet in the game.
Is he Russian?
No.
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican?
How you gonna be, what?
Lee
The
Quinones
fuck?
from San Juan, Russia.
I mean, it's not Lee Quinonesov.
Is he Russian? A little bit.
It was
too
rushing
much
to
of
get
that.
out the hood is what he was doing.
See, we all had busted afros back then.
That's crazy. When did you stop, like, actually, you know what I'm saying, me dancing?
He didn't stop dancing.
I know he still breaks, but I'm saying
I would say
competing, I should say. Battling.
competing. My last competition was 5 years ago. No, bullshit. Like 2 years ago in
He was
Houston.
already in his 50s.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You battled somebody?
That's what I'm sitting here tripping off.
How old was the person you battled?
Oh,
it was
it was
age
a battle in
appropriate.
Houston. They were doing a Rebel BC1 event, and they had the Rebel BC1 All Stars versus a local squad. And then one of the guys from Rocksteady was going to represent for the local squad. And I was just like, all right, well, you know, I'm just going to jump in with the Rebel BC1 All Stars and go after my own dude and my own crew.
Right.
And yeah, that was it. I only danced like a couple of times, re-injured myself as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it should go at this age.
Did you win?
Exactly. Right on schedule.
Did you win?
It wasn't even about, it wasn't
It
a
was just about
competition like
showing
that.
what
It
you
was
could
just
do?
like an exhibition battle, but yeah, it didn't matter.
What was your toughest battle?
These days, my toughest battle? Shit, man. I don't look at it that
Or
way.
how about this? Who was your biggest nemesis?
My biggest
The
nemesis?
crew's biggest nemesis. Was it New York City Breakers?
It was between New York City Breakers and Dynamic. It's Dynamic was first, but then they kind of faded away, so we needed someone else. But New York City Breakers was that other crew.
Eddie's learning how to spell New York City right there.
Yeah, I mean,
And they had the Kiss Breakers too, right?
oh yeah, but that,
98.7 Kiss.
yeah, but they weren't a real crew. That was just
okay.
like some promo stuff.
Yeah, because that don't even sound right. The kiss break.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
98.7 Kiss
98.7
radio
Kiss
station.
radio station. Yeah, they were big
Yeah, but
back
it
in New
still
York.
doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on y'all to change how it
No,
sounds.
I mean, Kiss was a huge. Kiss was what's
They
his
were
name
doing
is
gigs
now.
all over the city for free, free outdoor
I mean, they had
concerts.
freestyle down.
But
they
didn't
had
Kiss only
hip-hop.
play hip hop on Saturday nights?
No,
this
all
is
throughout,
earlier.
it became a hip hop station.
This is earlier.
Yeah, Kiss became a big hip hop station, and Kiss and
Who was on
BLS,
Kiss?
BLS.
yeah,
Mr.
BLS.
Magic was on BLS, right?
No, he was HBI. WHBI.
Oh, WHBI.
Yeah, it's between Kiss
And Awesome too.
WBLS. Those were the two big stations
I
in
only
New
know
York.
that because of Karis One. I used to listen to Awesome too on WHBI.
WBLS was before Kiss.
But you know who's I guess, unsung Africa Islam because he had Zulu beats. And Zulu beats was dope.
Yeah, Zulu beats was dope.
Really
that was
dope.
a station?
Where's Africa Islam now?
He is in Germany.
Living there?
Yeah, he's been living there for a long time.
Damn.
Germany.
Yep.
Where?
I don't know.
Get him over here immediately. Eddie, book a flight for a message.
So Rocksteady was part of Zulu Nation?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we were our own thing, but yeah.
You know, there was this, I heard this whole, I know it's not true, but I heard this whole theory about why they were called B-boys. You know that story, right?
No, I don't.
They were saying that.
I'm going to be offended, right?
Yeah, you are. I can't wait.
There's a couple of, but there's a couple of real things, but you might.
They were called Bam's Boys.
Bam's Boys.
You burnt the fuck out.
And if you know, you know.
You burnt the fuck out.
Oh my God.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Good choice.
Walk right into that one.
No, but within the gay community, they used to have a slang called B-boys, which was Banji boys.
Banji?
Yeah.
Banji Boys.
Dig that.
What the Banji
Which
mean?
is kind of like hard rock homos.
Oh, like
the first generation.
Yeah.
Like
This
gay
is finna be
thugs
bad.
and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you just fucked my head.
or
I'm
you could
still
just
stuck
say
on this shit.
The city of
But it's a
Atlanta.
separate scene, though.
Yeah, I'd say so.
What's the other story you heard?
No, just regular
just that
B-boys,
one?
Bronx boys, break girls, whatever.
Yeah,
Bronx
I
boys?
always understood B-boy to mean that they danced on the break. Hence,
Yeah.
break on the break.
But originally it was Bronx boy.
Okay, that makes more
that's
sense.
what I was finna ask.
What if you're from Brooklyn? You could still be a B-boy then.
He
What
got
if you were?
there.
What if you were?
Could,
Could be
but
from Queens and be a
this is
B-boy.
the thing. That was Bronx Boy because he was from the Bronx. But if he knows he's from New York City like me. In the Bronx, that stood for the Bronx Boy. But everywhere else in New York City, the B-boy stands for break boy.
Right.
He was a break
But that's
boy.
what
yeah, but so the
Yeah.
B-boy, so like I said, the first crew I was in was the Bronx Boys, which was also known as the B-boys. But and then also Kool Herc, when he would throw on about to throw on break beats, whoever would be on the mic and say, B-boys, are you
That's
ready?
why they call it break dancing.
Girls, are you ready?
They call it break dancing.
Well, but we didn't call it
B-boy.
break dancing back then.
Huh?
It wasn't called break dancing back
Well,
then.
the B standing for break boy when it
break
first
boy,
came out.
break
No,
girl.
not when it
Standing-
first came out.
Yeah, when you started
when it-
doing the
No,
footwork.
No, when it
the
first
rock,
came out, it was Bronx
You roller
Boys.
skating right now, Frantz.
Yeah, I was confused. He had it cracking though.
Shit, you good.
But when you used to turn
And
this
then go
side,
backwards,
you-
go backwards, go
you
backwards.
like
The Temptations though.
Let me give you the evolution. It went
Yeah.
from Bronx
Shoot the
Boy to B-boy, and then when
Five hard
Run DMC did "I'm a B-boy standing in my B-boy
Oh
stance,"
yeah.
That was
they
Onyx.
got that wrong. Although Jam Master Jay used to break, but what they took as the meaning for B-boy was standing like this.
Right.
Which for us, that was the hard rock stance, not the B-boy stance. There was no such thing as a B-boy stance.
I dig that.
So I it's funny because to me, it's like, all right, well, this is our element. Why are they trying to take credit? They don't do this. So there was a conference up in San Francisco, and I'm like the panelist assassin. I'm like, yo, like, why do you guys call yourself B-boys? And they were like, oh, well, we didn't use the word back in Queens, but when we heard it, we thought it sounded fly, so we called ourselves B-boys. So they didn't know what they were doing.
Damn.
So now, with the terms and everything, which ones? See, because I would look at you as the authority for this stuff, for what the names of shit should be. That's just the way I look at you. So, what terms have you accepted throughout the years that didn't make sense to you before that it become kind of like?
I accept. All right, so the word breakdance actually came from my manager. We were in a meeting in 1982, and she misspoke. She had a British accent, and she was just like saying something, and she said breakdancers, and we just started screaming on her because we didn't know what breakdancers were. And, she was our publicist also, so she was feeding that information out there to the press. That's how the word breakdancing came about. Because in the 70s, it did not exist at all. Yeah, and you may talk to an old school head and they'll be like, yeah, we was breakdancing, but these are also old school heads that are so disconnected from the history and that period that they're just going along with what's the norm.
See, for me, hip hop wouldn't exist without b-boys and graffiti artists.
Exactly.
I think it wouldn't be called hip hop.
Yeah, it was all in one
right,
culture
no, but I'm
together.
saying like, so when people say hip hop is a style of music, I go, it's really not.
Exactly.
It's
because
part
it's not
of
like
it's part of a thing, but it's not a style of music.
Right.
It's not like anyone, I don't care if they could say whoever made up hip hop, but it's like, all right, well, what trains did that person do, or what walls, what b-boy, b-girl battles was that person in, what rhymes did that person say? So to give any one person credit for creating hip hop is kind of ridiculous, because then you have to go through all these different elements, and was that person that talented to have excelled in all those things? And because then you gotta, if you're gonna say a person created hip hop and then you say they, like, all right, they created graffiti, so now we gotta talk to Tacky 183 and Lee Quinones and compare notes with them,
Right.
and no one person can stake that claim.
I think Kool Herc became the father of the hip hop style of DJing. Not even really, but musically, like.
So do you know how he was dubbed father of hip hop?
No, I don't.
All right, so in '82, when we did the New York City rap tour, that was the first hip hop tour ever done, before it was called hip hop, and also known as the Roxy tour.
The Roxy tour?
Yeah. It was
it sponsored by the Roxy?
Huh? No, it was sponsored by Europe One and FNAC. So we were on that tour, and Bambaataa was doing interviews, and he was the one who named hip hop. He's the one that gave it the umbrella name, and
Bam did.
Yeah, Bam, and made it official.
So you were Bam's boys.
No, buddy. Not that party. So he ended up naming hip hop, and so when he didn't want the credit, because like, even fine, Bam had his problems, but he's a dude that corralled everyone, and he was the first person saying, I want the b-boys here, I want the writers here, and I want all these different elements at my party. And we got to give him that credit. And so you figure 9 years of existence, it had no name. It was just like, yo, you break, yo, you write, you DJ, you MC, and that's how you were identified.
Right.
So,
and they just all happen to be in the same circle.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, if you braked, you liked the way graffiti looked, and if you braked, you needed this particular style of music to do it to.
It was,
and the MC
ghetto
wasn't
folk art.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like there was rappers. It was, you weren't a rapper, you were an MC for a DJ.
Yeah, nobody was talking about rapping back then.
Yeah.
So where does
it was just MC.
So, but I'm saying you guys went hand in hand, right? The music and the MC and the breaking.
Yeah, because we would go to their jams. Because usually, since there were no rap records, it would be them playing whatever top 40 plus break beats, and then at a certain time, Furious 5 gets on the mic and does their show.
Right.
But when the break beats were on, the b-boys and b-girls were hitting the floor. When the songs like Good Times are on, you're dancing with the girls.
And you wouldn't dance to the break of Good Times?
Nah.
Not too slow?
Nah, we had way better shit than that.
All right, so how did that become, the song that y'all always broke to?
Because we liked it.
All right.
Because if we didn't like it, they ain't gonna play it. And that's before my time. So I would say ask one of the older people like Kaz and them about that, because that's their lane. I ain't as old as those dudes.
Yeah, I always think.
That's fucked up. He's like,
by the way, they only have like 5 years
I'm a
on
youngin'. I'm a youngin'.
You have to respect the generation before
exactly,
you.
And I do. And that's why I refuse
remember we were talking about that earlier?
But that's why I refuse to fully answer that question.
Right,
because I don't think
you don't know.
It's not my place.
Would you? Okay, so was Jimmy Castor Bunch, was that a song from your generation or the generation before you then?
We got that from, I started in 77. These dudes all started like 73, 74. So I'm still within a generation, but a tail end of a certain era.
Right.
12 years old.
But yeah, I grew up on shit the same way everyone else did. We were all watching Soul Train and growing up to our parents' music, like the Stylistics, the Moments and all that stuff.
All of that, yeah.
Even Barbra Streisand, Johnny Mathis. You're hearing all these things. So, you know, I grew up on a variety of music and salsa.
Yeah, of course.
My uncles would have jam sessions in my house. They played timbales, upright bass, organ, all that stuff was happening.
So wait, and people
Johnny
don't.
Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize that salsa was created in the Bronx.
No, salsa was created in Spanish Harlem.
Oh, really?
Was it?
I heard the Bronx.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
And then
You're older than me, right?
Johnny Pacheco.
I saw
No,
that.
I heard that it started in the Bronx, and then musicians from Spanish Harlem will
And
come up
Hector
to the
Lavoe.
Bronx.
Yeah.
Hector Lavoe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Johnny
did you
Pacheco.
I
guys
think
start your
Hector
routines?
Lavoe's Russian, right?
Yeah, you call me. You got a call back. Yeah, it's funny.
When did the routines start coming in where you guys were actually
Routines were always part of breaking.
Alright.
That was happening before I started breaking. So that was, I mean, again, I leave that to the older dudes.
what you want to take credit for? Let's get with that.
You know, I don't really.
I know you don't
can't
want to take
say
any
that.
fucking
Can you
credit. So
yeah,
here's
you
the
can't say
thing.
that.
Can you take credit for the backspin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Windmill, backspin,
windmill, backspin.
1990, threads,
All right.
What are threads?
threads,
Oh, right.
all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I
Like
hated
your
that
boy
stuff.
Dizzy does.
Oh, yeah.
So
I don't like threads, actually.
thank you.
No, I mean, I look at him, I go, man, that don't, nah. It was too easy for me to do that then. I was like, this came too easy. It can't be a good move.
Oh,
That's how I looked
You
at
should have
it.
evolved it.
Yeah, well, I couldn't. We didn't know it could evolve. I remember the first time I saw 1990. First of all, when I heard the name, I go, 1990, that's the fucking future.
Oh no, but
Yeah.
here's the thing. Even with the 1990, so we were already traveling. So when we would come up with moves and we're on the road, people would rename them because it's not like they were hanging with us. They would see us do certain things and then they call it something else. So the 1990 was actually someone else's move, which was a different move. And then my move was just called a handspin, but people just mixed everything up. So the person who created an actual move called the 1990 gets shitted on and loses that title. So
I remember the first time I saw 1990, I was like, yo,
Yeah,
what
that
the
was some
fuck
shit.
did that guy just do?
And
That
I
was some
never
shit.
even did it well. I just came
was like
up with
half
it,
a
and
turn,
other
wasn't it?
people evolved it.
It was like one spin and then you jump down.
Yeah.
And then you see these cats,
First
these,
time we saw was Beach
these
Street.
Korean cats jumping
Yeah,
on
Beach
one
Street.
hand, doing
Yeah.
like 50
Beach
turns.
Street. That was my movie. Beach Street.
Yeah.
I like that
What-
movie.
What
Wild
else can
Style
you
was
take
actually
credit?
my
Yeah,
movie.
I like
You said
Wild
Wild
Style
Style.
too. But I like
Why
Beach
y'all
Street.
trying to
Me,
pass
Wild
by
Style's
breaking though?
better.
Like y'all didn't
Now,
like
listen,
breaking.
listen.
Why y'all trying to pass by breaking?
Let me break down breaking.
Oh
for
no,
you.
Breaking was the, come on now. Shout
I ain't
rest in
saying-
peace,
I ain't
Shabba
saying
Doo,
it's
who just passed
what y'all
away.
did, but
Yes.
What, about 4 or
Yes.
5 months ago.
That was my dude, man.
About a year
Yeah,
ago,
yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
No.
It's been about a
Was it a
year?
year?
No, about
it's
5
a
months.
few, like 2-3 months ago.
I think 5. I think more like.
Oh, it was this year, actually.
Google.
Yeah.
I remember
Google.
we discussing it.
When did Shabba
Yeah.
Doo pass?
Hold on.
Unless I've been
You don't
that
have-
busy.
I still want to know how you passed my. You can't pass by
Nah, he
breaking,
passed away
man.
about 4 or 5
You
months
can't
ago.
pass breaking. You
No,
know
I
what
mean, I was never
No,
into
Breaking
that.
I
was
ain't
the
saying
shit.
part 2.
All right, so here's
that's
the
too
thing.
far.
Breaking was the shit.
I don't
Turbo,
like-
Shabba Doo.
yeah.
Yeah, they did
I
their
don't
thing
like-
for the West Coast.
There
To
you
be
go.
For
fair,
the West Coast. Yeah.
I didn't like Beach Street. I didn't like breaking.
All right.
And the thing is that it's like people act like the only thing you can do with a storyline from the hood is make sure that you pair up one of us with some white girl ballerina. And that shit is just
I can dig
fucking
it.
corny and not real.
I can dig it.
Yeah, there's only one way out the hood, and you need a white cosign to get out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was Henry Chalfant, though? Was he black?
Yeah, but he wasn't the only person. I give
Right.
Henry Chalfant a whole lot of credit, but that was a short moment in time. But I was also dancing for several years before that, and I was already making a name for myself by running into like territory where I wasn't really welcomed, and just to go battle somebody and then get chased out of the neighborhood. You know, Henry Chalfant wasn't there with his little Volkswagen to get me out of there.
He's still alive?
Yeah, Henry's the man.
Never met him either. A lot of people I'd
When
like
was
to
the
meet.
last
Yeah.
1990 you did?
Yeah,
very
it was
last
maybe in
1990.
1990.
Did you guys have a lot of black breakers?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Rocksteady was always a very diverse group.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
there was a lot of blacks or Puerto Ricans.
Black Puerto.
Black
yeah,
and
we were
Puerto
very
Rican, yeah.
well. Mr. Freeze was French Jew. He was born in France.
Really?
Yeah,
Like that.
Mr. Freeze was actually breaking probably a year before me.
Really? He's from the Bronx, but his parents were French?
They were in concentration camps as well. Tatted up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he was a Jew?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He was actually Friesenstein. People don't know that about him.
That just happened.
So
The Freeze is easily, I would say maybe the second Caucasian B-boy in history.
Oh, I'm getting Mr.
If
You know
not
what?
the
I'm getting
first.
Mr. Freeze and Frosty Freeze
Oh
mixed
no,
up.
Frosty Freeze, his family was from Belize.
Oh, he's Belizean.
Oh, Belizean. Okay.
So Caucasians were breaking in the
76,
beginning.
yeah.
Now, dig that.
Yeah. And there was, in Manhattan,
What
there
do you
was,
call
this,
them,
there was this other dude.
Caucasians.
There was this other dude named Chinese Flash.
Word?
Was he fresh? Just
yeah,
kidding.
he was dope.
Was he
and that was like
Chinese?
1980 though.
Was he
He was
Chinese?
Chinese, yeah.
And he was dope?
Yep. The funny shit is that I think he was down with these dudes called the Shamrock Crew. So it's all fucked up in there. Like
So he was the only Chinese guy?
Black dudes in a Irish crew named with Chinese Flash.
And he's black.
So how come y'all
And
couldn't
he's black.
pop
He's
though?
really Chinese.
No,
That's
the
what I wanna
Chinese,
know.
the Chinese Flash was Chinese.
When did
Okay.
popping and locking get incorporated into b-boying?
It was
Because
never.
that was a completely separate style of dance.
Yeah, that
Robot,
that's
popping,
West
locking.
Coast. That's Fresno. That's. I mean, people were imitating what they saw on Soul Train.
Yep.
And they wrongly called the dance electric boogie because they saw the electric boogaloos on Soul Train. So a lot of people in New York did it wrong. So they would mix up what they saw from the electric boogaloos and the lockers. And that's like mixing salsa and merengue. It just
Nah, I can
doesn't
dig
work.
it. Yeah.
So, that was 80, 81, 82, 81?
What? The incorporation?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was always like I liked waves and pops and locks. I didn't really like locking that much. Locking always looked corny to me. Always. Like I would always watch it. I go, oh, come on. I don't want to see this fucking rerun shit. You know, I would always look at it like that. I was like, because it looked too happy. They don't have a big smile.
It had its place though.
That was a West Coast thing. I
know
can't
that,
speak
but
for that.
you know, they would
Wait,
choose
hold on,
big
hold
on
on.
He has to handle
That's
that
what
one.
I'm saying. Right, that's on him. No, it had
I associate popping with the West Coast because they would
indeed.
pop fucking dope. Like
Indeed,
these guys would pop
indeed.
hard out here.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You
And
had
I was
to be
talking
able
to
to hit and
I was
animate.
talking to Crazy Legs about Mr. Animation the other day because
Yeah.
he was fucking dope. But he was a real gangbanger.
Yeah. The majority of the cats were real gangbangers.
Skeeter Rabbit, rest in peace to him too.
See, locking was more of a thing, you know what I mean, where, you know, cats would do, they had their routines together. It was more that type of situation versus popping. It started off one kind of way where everybody was together, but then when y'all started making y'all migration this way, then it became something that was more.
But you know, I think they were some of those people were already doing things that were not even on most people's radars. Kind of like you had Grandmaster Flowers opening up for
James Brown.
at Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
And I didn't even know who Grandmaster Flowers was at that time. I didn't know who he was until 77. I think that was what, 73, 74?
No, he was 69 or something
69.
like that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Flowers in 69.
Yeah, he opened for James Brown back in the day. He
So
died
did you
in
guys
92,
have to-
damn.
Damn. Did you guys have to deal with, you know, the whole MC? Like that really didn't become prevalent until later with y'all. Like having MCs where everything's separated, basically.
No, everything
No,
consolidated.
everything was getting together at that point. You know, I mean, MC. I think when people just started getting more record deals, that's when you started seeing DJs and MCs become separated, and you know, you couldn't monetize graffiti or breaking at that time. So you know, people just focused on, all right, where's the money? Rap. You can produce records.
Yeah,
you know,
get to the bag. I got you.
copies and copies and copies.
And then the rappers were like, you guys want to come on tour with us? We need something to, because we don't really have a performance.
I've never background danced for anybody.
That was my next
Nah,
question.
if I did, it would be like a feature for KRS-One or somebody that I really respected or somebody that was a friend that I did a favor for. But nah.
Why you say it with so much
Nah,
visceral?
because
though?
fuck that shit.
Because to him, He's a foreground dancer. He ain't a background dancer.
That's true.
His whole shit was a performance. So it's kind of like, don't use my performance to up your whack performance.
Basically,
your lack of performance.
But he just said he wouldn't back anybody.
They were the Viagra to those guys. They come in with their limp show, and the Rocksteady crew would get you rock hard. That's actually where the name came from, guys. It was actually the Rock Hard Steady crew.
So you guys just kept it going for generations.
Yeah. And I mean,
your son never b-boyed?
Nah,
Isn't that wild?
My son works in a financial field.
That's wild though. Like you would think he would at least tried it or some shit.
But I always told my son, since he was a kid, I told him, yo, people are gonna ask you, do you dance like your dad? And I told him, when they ask you that, just say, yo, my dad said that he didn't have options. I have options, So I never wanted that pressure to be on him.
Right. Let him do him.
Yeah.
Let him do him. Yeah.
It's like expecting your kids all to be funny.
Just what we were talking about earlier. Also, the generation.
What?
Just like we were talking about earlier, the generations change. You know what I'm saying? And you got to let them do what they do.
Yeah. It's the animation.
Did he ever dance with you though?
Who?
No. I just messing around, but no, not really.
Jazzy Jeff's kids don't DJ. Well, except for his oldest son.
One of them MCs though, right?
Yeah, Amir MCs and Corey, I think DJs now.
Yeah.
My son plays golf. So,
Yeah, but he's really dope. He's got really fast. They call him crazy clubs. Crazy.
He's nice.
Is he nice?
He's legit nice. So
I've never played golf. I'm not much of a.
My golf looks like bowling.
Oh yeah, like
I got no lift.
I hold the fucking golf club like a hockey stick because I grew up in Canada.
Force of habit, right?
Yeah. The old Russian sport of golf. Oh, sorry, Frantz, you were saying?
Do you still judge people? Like, when did you stop?
I still judge, yeah.
No, I mean, as far as letting people into the Rocksteady.
Oh, I haven't been in charge of Rocksteady.
Who's in charge
in terms of right now? No one. But I stopped doing those things, like picking people to be in Rocksteady in like 5 years ago. So. Because I work on, I'm more focused on my efforts in Puerto Rico and just other projects that I want to do. No, I have a music festival called Puerto Rocksteady out there.
Oh, dope.
And, of course, the Rocksteady history, but also back in the days, Puerto Rocks.
Yeah, Puerto Rock.
Yeah, so I felt like, all right, well, I have the ability to get people.
We need you to expand on Puerto Rocks because there's going to be people listening going, fuck's a Puerto
I'm from
Rock?
LA, homie. I was going to wait
Puerto
till it
Rock,
was
Puerto
over.
Rican, the slang was Puerto Rocks.
Yeah.
For referencing us, that's all.
Oh. Fair.
Yo, what's your background? Puerto Rock, motherfucker. What you
Puerto
think?
Rock.
I'll tell you on the podcast, I really want to DJ at Puerto Rock Steady.
Yes.
One of them poolside parties or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Playing some smooth house shit,
Yes.
He thinking about it, getting excited.
No,
because
I've been asking him for years now.
No, but I already we're trying to see when Puerto Rico starts opening things up.
He knows I don't want money. I just want to go there and fucking,
Yeah, we're charging him to DJ.
Actually, I'm paying them too.
Nah, people sleep on his DJ skills though, so that's the thing about it. People sleep on his skills though.
Russell's legit.
Yeah. He get over there and it's time it to death.
I would house it to death.
You would house it to death over there?
House it to death.
I would say Russell is. If you had like
Russell's shit, he tore it up.
If you had like a celebrity, like a Hollywood celebrity DJ battle, who's your competition?
I don't know. I don't know who else can DJ. I know plenty of people dabble.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the DJ's in my mind. I mean,
right.
You bought a controller, whoop-de-fucking-do. You know what I mean? Or maybe you did it a long time ago and you think you're going to come back to, well, the game changed. You got to move with the game.
I'm thinking and I can't think
I never
of nobody.
Stopped. I mean, Idris Elba DJs.
Paris,
he's a real DJ
Paris
though.
Hilton really took your job.
He does dub
Paris
though.
Hilton's the truth, yeah.
She took your job.
Yeah. She's that good at DJing as she is making porno tapes. And if you've seen the porno tapes, they're not very good.
You gonna bring those up now?
Yo, I think Idris can. I know he does dub, but I think he can.
No, he just plays house and stuff like that. But again, if he plays like an English guy, then it's not really a problem to me because the English, there's a lot of England. They got great music. The DJs know music.
Yep.
But they play weirdly. Like they play weird. I remember being in England and like a fucking track will be playing, and right over the lyrics you hear. And they don't talk over it. They drop the music and then drop it back up. It'll be like the song singing, and then all of a sudden, big out to the brick sing posse, and then the music comes back up. North London, massive. I see you, and then back up. It's always and you're like, what the fuck? Right over the lyrics, like you gotta so drop, do it over the instrumental part. Like,
you can't catch the vibe.
But I guess that's the way when we don't want to copy the US. We're doing our own thing, and I'm like, but your own thing kind of fucks up the vibe of the party right now. And I heard DJs over there, like big DJs over there, literally play a song out to the end. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, where's the musical Tourette's that you're supposed to have?
Well, no, I mean you could play 3 verses and then fade the fuck mix out.
Yeah,
you ain't got to do it right after first bar. But I'm just saying, at least mix your way out. A lot of guys just like fade out and fade in. You're like, what the fuck is this? I could have done this at home on my mom's stereo.
Oh, no mix.
Well, they don't really let records breathe no more anyway. So you know what I mean.
Not at all.
Oh, that goes with the attention span of everybody. And also, when you're playing an old school party, you don't really need to hear the whole fucking song. You already know where the song goes. You want to play 2 verses and you're out of it.
Certain songs I can hear all night. Not all night. Certain songs I can hear for a while.
I'll play All Night by Trinier for you.
Love Dancing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Love Dancing.
Yeah.
That was a good song.
Oh yeah,
I thought you were gonna say
Solution.
like Teddy Pendergrass or something.
Nah, Love Dancing. I can hear Love Dancing.
He talking
all
about
night.
house. See, house you can let ride because the house song's like 6-7 minutes long. So they're designed to be played for a long time.
Yeah, they are.
What's your favorite music to break to?
it's all funk and soul.
What's your funkin' language?
There's certain Latin percussion styles of records.
I noticed, the commonality in the stuff he likes has a lot of congos and bongos in it.
Yeah.
A lot of James Brown.
A lot of James Brown. Yeah, definitely.
A lot of the
yeah, it has to be
I'm
a certain
selling that as a
tempo.
record. Can we loop that and get that recorded?
I don't know who's gonna spit something on that. What you say?
Yeah, so yeah, it has to be a certain tempo. It has to be at least like 111 and better. Or maybe even actually 116 and better.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite move though?
What?
What was your favorite move? What was your go-to?
His go-to, as far as I'm concerned, was shuffling.
Yeah, my footwork, I had good footwork.
His footwork was fucking incredible. Always fast, smooth, even speed from the time he started to the time he finished. I would watch his shuffling and go, God damn, that motherfucker's nice.
I didn't realize anything about my footwork until maybe 10 years ago.
And your donkey kicks.
I never really did those much.
Those fucking...
Yeah.
No, those swipes you would do.
Oh, swipes, yeah.
You would
But
do
I
those
learned
ones where
that-
your fucking torso
learned-
twisted in a different direction.
So check it out. The reason for that is I have an underdeveloped coccyx bone.
Hey, man.
Not underdeveloped cock.
I have a...
Right? So
I
I
ironically
already
have
know
a-
where you're going.
You have a cock 6, I have a 6-inch
So
cock.
when my coccyx bone is supposed to stop right there, it's underdeveloped, so it goes through. That's why I'm able to do the swipes. But Jimmy D taught me swipes.
There you are.
David Letterman, dick.
The old, I was on the show. Can I talk to him? Trick. Who's that? Ken?
Yeah.
He came on after you in B Street, right?
No.
Is he the one
Legs
that
was the
closed
last one. Legs won the battle.
Yeah, when he took his shoes off.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is that one of us, I'm not going to say who, I think was coming off of smoking dust the night before.
There's a windmill.
When we
nice
filmed this.
fucking windmill. Little bent leg on it. That's not too bad.
Yeah, this is 83.
Wow.
We were promoting Flashdance.
How'd you create the windmill?
Accident.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. The backspin was an accident. The windmill was an accident. The 90 was an accident.
I was telling him that we used to call that backspin that Swift just did a New York City backspin.
Oh,
Yeah, everybody.
Because it looked
thought-
like a dive. It looked like he was going to do a windmill and then he went into a backspin.
so that backspin is actually
There's
called.
a donkey kick. Those are your swipes right there. Look at that.
It was called.
Look at his coccyx go.
Yeah.
Can I call you
You know
coccyx
what I'm
legs?
actually shocked about? watching this now?
Wearing Lee's?
No, you had Converse instead of Pro Kids.
Yeah, we had a little bit more of a budget.
Yeah, but Pro
Like
Kids,
$5.
yeah, Pro Kids was hot back then.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Oh,
and
you
I'm
look-
sure those
oh,
sneakers were obtained by a stick up or something. Those Adidas, I'm sure somebody got stuck up and we
Kenny's?
went shopping.
Was
yeah.
y'all trying to battle each other?
No, we were just doing a
Just doing
demo.
your thing? All right.
This was for on David Letterman.
Can I share the story you told me about how you came back from the Wild Style tour and didn't realize you were famous?
That was you mean in Hawaii?
When you went to go stick somebody up and they recognized you.
No, that never happened.
No, you told me you were a stick-up kid and then you
Now
realized...
you're mixing stories up.
No. Okay, it might not be the same story, but you went out and you were like, somebody recognized you and you went, fuck, I don't think I can rob anybody anymore because people know who I am now. Is that fair?
No, I mean it sounds good.
Well, then we should make that folklore.
Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
Hey, DMX did the same thing before. Tried to rob somebody while he was famous.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, God rest his soul, but yeah, DMX.
Yeah, we were wilding out, man. We were not.
There you go.
Look at that unshaped afro.
Who was your personal nemesis, though?
I didn't have one.
It was a crack pipe.
No, I didn't have one. I was teaching a lot of people, and I started meeting all these people because in the Bronx, breaking was dying out, and I was just getting better, and then I had to find other people to battle. So I became like this mercenary b-boy. Once I would battle someone, they'd be like, "Oh shit, just lost the legs. I'm gonna get legs to battle somebody else who I lost to before," and they would use me for revenge.
Dig that.
And then that's how I started recruiting people. So I had never done this move before.
You just did it in the movie
I
right
just
then?
did it in
Bam.
the movie. They were like, "Hey, we need to end the movie, the scene somehow. The best move ends it." I was like, "All right, cool. Let me try this shit."
Oh, when you shot that, how many times y'all have to do that same fucking battle, though?
Once.
Oh, yeah, because that's a hard
We
fucking
just
shit
kept
to do.
going and going and going.
Break,
Yo,
make
we
a
got
move.
exploited in so many ways, bro.
Let us know.
We literally got exploited by Richard Branson. Yeah.
Wow. A billionaire.
He gave us
Now.
$1 million deal where we all got $7,000 each.
Wow, that's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, well. It's
Where
all
the fuck
good.
did the rest of the money go?
Recuperable?
Wow.
He had enough money to pay y'all $1 million
Recuperable,
apiece.
you know?
Was that for the intro video of their flights?
No.
this
This
was
is
for-
before an airline existed with him.
This is when he had Virgin Records.
Yep.
Oh, right. That's so Uprock and Hey You came out on Virgin, right?
That was all Richard Branson.
That's right. That's probably why I found the fucking 45 in England
Yep.
and the picture disc.
Yeah, so it was,
Man, I had that picture disc too at some point.
yeah,
in my life. I had it.
Charisma and Virgin was the
Charisma.
distributor.
Fuck, I forgot about that label too.
Yep.
Trust
that
me, he
Wiggles?
made millions of
Yeah.
pounds.
Wait, Wiggles is from where?
Bronx, South Bronx.
Was he down with y'all from the beginning?
No.
Because I was gonna say I don't remember him in the early 80s.
Yeah, he was around though.
But he wasn't in Beach Street.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Ho, ho, ho. Open up your door.
Oh, that's him.
The
Shit.
dancers in there.
That's right. Shit. But he didn't dance at the Roxy or in the train
Yeah.
station or nothing.
Did you ever want to MC or produce
Yeah, I
or
mean,
DJ?
back then we
anything?
did everything until you figured out what you were good at. So
You know-
obviously I wasn't good at emceeing.
Legs is actually a really solid DJ. He gets
Word?
busy. He plays down here. Mixing's on point. Cutting's on point.
When did the Total
basic.
Headspin come out?
What?
The Total Headspin, right? When they started spinning all the way like 20, 30 times.
No, so the first husbands were done before I started dancing. Then
Wasn't
the
the-
other ones came up in like 1980.
Wait, what about when the cats started using helmets and just kept going? Remember that shit?
I was like 83.
Yeah.
Really?
Wiggles' cousin was the first one to do that.
With a helmet?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where did the flair come from? Who was the first to do that?
That was from the fucking.
That was this dude named German, Puerto Rican cat.
Wait, wasn't it already in the gymnastics world on the
Yeah,
horse?
but he just did he was a gymnast also, but he just brought it. He's the one who brought it into breaking.
So for me, I stopped dancing in '85 because nobody was doing it anymore.
True.
And I didn't want to look like the nerdy kid that's still hanging on to it. But the fucked up part for me was I didn't get my windmill down until I till it started to end. I was like, motherfucker, I just got this move now.
But that's what happened to me, because in 79, when I started getting better, breaking was already dying for the first time.
And that was only in the Bronx, though. But since that's the only place you really saw.
For the most part, yeah.
How many times have you had to revive it?
2 times. 2 times.
But it's huge across the world now, though.
Yeah, now it sustains itself. It's going into the Olympics in 2024. And hopefully they do that right.
Yeah, it had some downtime from about 85 to I'd say about 90.
90. Yeah, because the thing is that it may have been down over here, but it was doing well in Japan and Germany, especially.
There were some dope B-boys in my hometown growing up.
In Canada?
Yeah.
Filipinos. It was always the Filipino guys that were badass.
Gizmo.
Gizmo from Toronto?
Yeah. Gizmo, he was in Bag of Tricks.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know Bag of
telling
Tricks.
you about your hood.
Well, no, I know. I know Bag of Tricks. But again, those are way younger cats to me. Those guys all came up in the 90s.
But they kept them alive up there.
They did. They brought it back.
Yeah, Intricate Crew.
Yeah.
That was their rivals.
Well, guys, I enjoyed this.
Yeah, me too.
This was very, very, very
It was informative, if not
it was watchful. It was
Sorry,
watchful.
I bored you.
Nah. You said some stuff straight on the real. He's talking about everything else.
Listeners were like, I didn't like this one. I'm like, that's your fucking problem. I mean, yeah.
Oh, no. The one thing about B-boys and B-girls, when it comes to stuff like this, they're on it and they'll play it over and over again. If you look at any movie that has even just any kind of dance in it, the most viewed scenes of any movie is the dance.
Listen, I told you this before too, but if any music video in the early 80s had any breakdancing in it, I would fucking watch the video, even if the song was trash. I would watch Party Train by the Gap Band because it had some ill B-boying in it. Save the overtime
for me.
Yeah. Were you in that? Who was in that?
No, that was New York City Breakers.
Because it was a really nice windmill in that one.
Yep.
Where did you film Flashdance?
Pittsburgh and L.A.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we filmed the last scene over here where I doubled for Jennifer Beals.
Oh, right.
They look the same.
I saw that one coming.
Which scene? Was it the one where she poured the water on herself?
The outdoor scene with you and Mr. Freeze?
No, indoors. When she's auditioning.
All right.
Spinning on her back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was your
That was me.
backspin?
Would they put a wig on you?
If you zoom in, you'll see a bulge. That's me.
That ain't happening. That ain't gonna happen. Nah, you gave the game up, for real. You gave the game up.
Oh man, no,
That's dope.
That was I was humiliated. They wanted me to shave my newly peach fuzz mustache. As a Puerto Rican growing up in the Bronx, they're like, as soon as it's growing, you got to shave it for this thing. Like, oh man.
You have to put a wig on?
Yeah, wig, capizios, tights, leotard, shaved underarms, shaved mustache.
Damn.
Oh, man's man.
Yeah, they turn you into...
And now look at you. Shaved. Clean shaven man.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Flashdance.
And I get waxed, right?
That's it. Yeah. His asshole's shiny, guys. I haven't seen it, but his
That's
wife
a
told me.
lot of information right now.
I want to thank my guests today on Culturally Canceled.
Thank you, sir.
We had my man Ooh from South Central.
Thank you.
From Nupius.
Thank you.
New Upiunius.
That's what we do.
I don't know how to fucking.
It's too power for us, man. It's just Nupius. That's all you got to say.
You keep fucking breaking it down. New.
No, you wanted to know that
with the 3D.
See, that's
and the
a light
ED
skin
and
thing
LOP.
that you got going on right now.
And then we want to thank our Russian friend Frantz Casseus for being there.
Man, they killing me over there.
And the legendary Crazy Legs of the Rocksteady crew.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And
I
fucking Eddie.
appreciate you.
How
Because
dare
you're
you?
one of the realest hip-hop heads who has success and doesn't just say hip-hop for the hell of it. Like, you're fucking 100% legit. And it's refreshing to communicate with someone who's just not talking shit.
Well, I am always talking shit in all
Yeah,
fairness.
I know that, but you know.
I mean, well, you know, well,
You're,
good.
you're authentic.
I got the cosign from the man who introduced me to hip hop. I think that's the best way to end this episode of Culturally Canceled with myself, Russell Peters.
Damn.